My boyfriend is mad that I won't pay for gas. Advice? My dad died suddenly and left me everything he has. Essentially, cars in the double digits, a modest house, and a lot of money that he had saved. I was not aware growing up that he had made this money. He didn't buy the house or collectible cars until after I went to uni. Prior to my dad's passing, my fiancé, 23 male, would ask me to pay for things equally, and I always viewed that as fair. However, since then, my fiancé and his family have asked for more money without any equal contribution. I'm adding that they are by no means poor. My future mother-in-law has more Birkin bags than I can count, yet she asked me to pay for her to get her new windows and redo the entryway because family is family, and then berated me when I said no. My boyfriend recently demanded that he come and get me despite me offering to drive to him in my electric vehicle, but when he did, he demanded I pay for his time and petrol. My family got involved again, calling me names, and said I abandoned him with no way home. I want to know if there is any advice you can give me about being stern with boundaries in regards to what my father left me and what I can do to salvage this situation. I do love him deeply, but it bothers me that he thinks I owe him for his time or that he deserves any of the things my father left me. The only money I have ever used in our relationship is mine alone. And he told me to give him my dad's most expensive collectible car because he would love it more than I ever could. I just want advice on how to handle this. It's my first relationship. And now in the comments, you are being used by him and his family. Do not give them money for new windows and entryway. For F's sake, this is insane to me. And do not pay extra for anything. Tell your boyfriend how you're feeling being used and only seen as a walking checkbook. How he responds may decide the fate of your relationship. But to be honest, this is a huge red flag, and I would just get out now while it's easier. OP responds, should I tell him in person? He says he prefers tough conversations over text, but I might need to see how he responds in person. I don't know if that's me jumping a boundary for my own comfort or what. Definitely in person. This is one of those kinds of situations where you're going to want to see faces and get knee-jerk responses. Texting allows him to plan what he says, possibly with his family, to find a way to get you to cave. OP responds, thank you for the advice. I will do this. I've decided that I'll pay for his petrol to get home since he's still in my city, and that'll give me the opportunity to talk to him about this. Why though? If he feels that he is spending too much money on gas commuting to you, then that's a conversation the two of you have about making the travel more equal. The answer isn't for you to pay for his gas. And OP says, my equal offer for traveling was me driving the electric car to and from since it is loads cheaper. He didn't take the option. I'm only giving him petrol money to get back to his apartment so he isn't stranded here. He won't get extra money for the amount that it took driving here/his time. Him and his parents are American, so I don't know how long it would take to even get petrol money to him if he doesn't actually have money. I'd also only be filling it up enough for him to get home. Quote, he told me to give him my dad's most expensive collectible car because he would love it more than I ever could. This is when you leave him. I know that sounds harsh, but since this is your first relationship, I'm going to be extremely blunt and tell you this is a disgusting thing for him to say and is grounds for immediate breakup. And that's not even getting into the manipulation both he and his family are doing when they say family is family. No, you are not family yet, you are not married, and by the sounds of things, you shouldn't marry him anytime soon. And even if you were family, that doesn't mean he has the right to your belongings or that his family has the right to your money. They want your money, not you. I'd get out now. As long as you have it, they will want it. And OP replies, I really don't think that's the case because he comes from money, but I appreciate the insight either way. That's why I want to set some hard boundaries about what I will and will not use my father's money for. Just because they have money doesn't mean they're not using you for your money. That's how rich people rich enough to have multiple Birkin bags, get rich. By knowing who to lean on and earn money from/get things for free, even though they already have money. OP replies, that makes sense. I'm so new to this having money thing that it's giving me a headache about how shitty people can be to each other. I appreciate you letting me know. Try to avoid telling people about this money you have now. There will be a lot more people suddenly wanting to be your friend. You need to keep your guard up at all times. Some people are incredibly clever at making themselves appear so genuine. OP replies, "My fiancé is the only person that knows, and now his family, lol. And that's because he took me to the appointment with the attorney, but yeah, nobody will know, especially after hearing all of this. Please get them out of your life ASAP. They only see dollar signs when they see you now. They will wear you down until you capitulate." And now onto the update. We broke up. We talked. I asked if he was doing drugs. He said no. I asked where the F this money crap is coming from, and he said his mother told him the only way I'd stay with him is if he was assertive and controlling of everything involving money. She told him he needed to take the lead and secure his future. His mother is the one who suggested he ask me for money for his time. His mother is the one who told him, "You deserve those cars. You'll take better care of them," and other things along the lines of emotional incest. I told him how screwed that is, and he started crying and told me that he didn't want us to end. He wanted to go back to how things were. Things aren't like how they are before, and I told him as such. To me, it felt like he was blaming everything on her, but he made an active choice to say those things. I told him to go home, and that we're over. I sent him money for the petrol for him to get home, and that is the end of it. 3 years down the drain because of his actions and being manipulated by his mother to pull this crap. Thanks Reddit, I'm out now. And final update, my father was the best human on this planet. Prior to his passing, he helped me set up an ironclad marriage prenup. He also secured his will as a trust of some sort, so even if I did get married, my future husband won't be able to touch any of my dad's assets. He was a good, intelligent man who helped many people, and I know that he would be proud of me protecting the things that he has worked for. As for everything else, I appreciate all the advice and will be taking it all to heart. My daddy was my world, and it sucks that he isn't here. I'm unclear as to whether the mum was delusional with that advice or actively trying to break them up. I think she just wanted a payday. Ding ding ding. I would go with delusional. Mainly because I would be shocked if she wanted the OP's money to slip through her fingers. OP is 22 with no clue of the money beforehand. I think mum assumed she would be easy to manipulate. Yeah, she was too ham-fisted about it. A little more finesse, and OP might have been out a lot of money without even realized she was being used. Good riddance for OP. Those kind of people you never want in your life. The fact the fiancé was more worried about her not giving him cars than her mother committing emotional incest is disturbing. At least the family showed their true colors before the wedding. I'm so glad she left him. Even if it was his mum telling him to do these things, he showed he can't stand up to her and is her little puppet. But I highly doubt he didn't want anything of her things for himself. Why did my now ex-boyfriend of 1 year do this to me? 2 months ago, my boyfriend, 23 male, went to Aruba with a friend of his that I never liked, and he said he was just relaxing there and wanted me to leave him alone on his trip, which kinda hurt my feelings because other trips he's gone on, he's told me what he did every day and even called me. I, 18 female, brushed it off and tried to forget about it, and I noticed he was going to a lot of bars and clubs on Snapchat maps, and I asked him about it, and he told me to stop talking to him or he was going to block me. He would lie to me that he was going to bed, and then I'd look at Snap Maps 2 hours later and he was active at a bar. It really hurts, and it still does. He got back from Aruba, and I went to his house and I looked on his phone. I don't know his password as he changed it, and I saw in his notifications that he got a Tinder match. I confronted him, and he said that he just got it for fun when he was drunk in Aruba, and he wouldn't show me what was on there because he didn't remember. I'm not dumb. I know he was probably being disgusting. I tried to forgive him, but I couldn't. A week later, I figured out what his Snapchat password was, as I was just thinking and it hit me, and it worked. I saw he added so many girls on Snapchat, and I clicked one of the profiles, and it was a frickin' pimp. She sent him all of these profiles of her escorts and their prices for the services. I felt sick to my stomach and heartbroken. I think what's hurt the most is he still denies it to this day, and he was willing to pay $200 for a prostitute that could have had STDs. The pimp clarified that the girls had never been tested. He wouldn't pay more than $30 for a Christmas gift for me, and he stopped taking me on dates because it was too expensive. Our dates were never more than $70. He was making me pay for dates at the end of the relationship, knowing that I'm not financially doing well. Also, who would risk giving someone they love an STD? I feel like crap still, and I feel worthless. I honestly don't think I can ever trust anyone ever again. This has really damaged me mentally. I know I'm young, but what did I ever do to deserve this? And now in the comments, don't even waste time hurting because of him. He doesn't deserve a single tear that you drop. You are young, you have a long life ahead of you, so just enjoy it. Don't waste time on trash and focus on yourself and making yourself happy. OP replies, thank you. It's really hard some days because I forget he's not the person he pretended to be in the beginning. Look at the list of horrible things he's done. These are horrible. These are things that a piece of trash does. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and leave him. Have self-respect. You don't deserve this. Also, you should probably get tested. And OP says, he has done more than just this one thing. I could make a whole other post, sadly. But thank you. I'm trying to better myself. I'm kinda worried about you, OP. You kinda seem like you're blaming yourself, and it may be feeling like you did something wrong. I'm worried there may have been a lot of manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional abuse here. You are really young, and this probably hurts a lot. We all think we're going to find true love, and then try to project it onto an undeserving person. I think you've got a player/manipulator with this guy. He didn't do these things because of you. None of this is any reflection on you or your worth. He did those things because he's a deeply flawed, damaged, and callous person. Imagine what a marriage with this guy would be like. Please cut him out for your own well-being. A guy like this will drain your soul and have you thinking that it's all your fault. Take some time to heal. Sending love. And OP says, you're definitely right. He has me like wrapped around his finger. He met me when I was 17 and still in high school and going through a lot. I blame a lot of it on myself because he's always turned everything around on me, and I am very forgiving to him for some reason. I truly think he is very mentally ill and maybe even a predator. Considering once I turned 18 that he started to be mean and everything started going downhill. I definitely still have rose-tinted glasses on, but still, I'm trying to see everything clearly. Thank you so much for letting me rant and for helping me seriously. And now on to the update. So a month later, I'm mentally doing better. I start a new job Monday, and I finally thought my life was getting back together again after he caused me so much pain. Well, yesterday, I had a gynecologist appointment because I've been having sharp pains in my uterus area. Side note, I have PCOS, so I thought it was something to do with cysts in my ovaries. It was also a checkup, so I decided to get everything done. P-test, pap smear, checkup, and I got my results back today. I have chlamydia. And yes, I went to the drugstore and picked up my antibiotic ASAP. I am so angry and hurt and upset. I am flooded with emotions because I had long talks with him in person about how he needs to tell me if he had sex with anyone else so I can go get tested. Obviously, he always said he was innocent, but I also feel so sad because I wanted to believe him and believe there was some good left in him. But the only thing left in him was the clap, and he gave it to me. So I called him angry and upset, yelling at him about this. He keeps denying it, saying I must have screwed someone else after we broke up, and all this BS. I never did. I know 100% he gave it to me, but he won't admit it. And he keeps lying. Also, he got tested back in October to try to prove it wasn't him, but he went to Aruba in December. So if anything, he is extra guilty now. I can't wait till I'm clean and I can finally feel free from the curse of him. I feel disgusting because he got it from some Aruban prostitute, but I'm so lucky and blessed that it's curable and that I caught it before it was too late. Honestly, I'm not looking for sympathy at all, just good wishes and hope that I can get the strength to move on. Now in the comments, the worst thing is that it happened so young. It could take years for you to trust someone, OP, but you absolutely can trust again. Use this experience to be more aware of red flags. Communicate your feelings. Never stick around when you notice a combination of red flags and poor communication. And OP says, thank you and yes. I feel hopeless relationship-wise. I feel bad for OP. Her ex is truly a piece of crap. She's lucky she only got the clap. The kid was sticking his dick in places it had no place being. Chlamydia can cause infertility when left untreated, and by the time it's causing pain, it's already done damage to the reproductive organs. She's not even close to lucky. I have a friend who's infertile for this exact reason. I hope he didn't legitimately ruin her life. Boys, chlamydia may be curable and mostly harmless to you, but it destroys a woman's reproductive system. Stop acting like it's no big deal. What pimp advertises their workers as being untested? Maybe he asked the pimp if he could go bareback, and so that was the pimp's reply or something. Furthermore, who decides it's a good idea to sleep with someone after it's been confirmed that they are not recently tested? Any and all adult men who groom and date teenage girls are the most disgusting scum of the earth pieces of crap. It makes me want to scream for days, truly shaking with anger. That, and with the grooming, he was clearly trying to build an environment where she would feel like she's the one doing something wrong. Absolutely disgusting. Reminds me of being love-bombed by a 24-year-old when I was 17. I dated him for over a year and was flattered he was so possessive over me. In the end, we broke up because I grew up and realized he was an insecure asshole. I remember getting to 24 myself and being horrified at the thought of dating a 17-year-old. Boyfriend won't stop telling me that I have BO. So I've been with my boyfriend for over a year, and everything's been great, except for one thing. Every single day, at least once, he will tell me that I stink and smell of BO. When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day, and now I'm so paranoid about smelling bad that I shower at least twice a day. I apply new industrial strength deodorant every few hours, as I have a reminder on my phone, perfume, and I brush my teeth anytime I eat or drink something that isn't water. I feel like I'm going crazy. I didn't think I smelled bad in the beginning, and I don't think I smell bad now, but I obviously smell bad to him, right? I'm that weirdo that keeps sneakily smelling their own armpits. I have been to the doctor, and he has said there is nothing wrong medically. It honestly has gotten to the point where I literally shove my armpit in my friends' and family's faces asking if I smell bad, and they say that I don't smell like BO at all. One friend even said I smelled too clean, like a Lush store. I'm getting so paranoid. He won't cuddle or anything when he says I smell. I really don't know what more I can do. Now in the comments, imagine telling a girl she smells to make her want you more. God damn, people are stupid. Quote, every single day, at least once, he'll tell me that I stink and smell of BO. Even giving him every benefit of the doubt, which I don't due to the rest of the post, this sentence alone means you are not compatible. The most generous interpretation is that your smell really bothers him and you cannot do anything about it. Ultimately, your relationship is doomed because this will erode your self-esteem more and more, and it will destroy any intimacy between you. From the rest of the post, it actually sounds like he might be doing it maliciously, which is even worse. Either it's just one of those times where you smell bad to him, and to him only, or he's doing this on purpose to avoid intimacy or to control you or something. An ex-husband of mine did this to me. He wouldn't be intimate but blamed me, a number of reasons including I had bad breath, and I went to the dentist who told me there was nothing wrong with my breath. It's not you, it's him. When guys do this, they are negging you for both their own sadistic amusement and building up to break up, but make it seem like you're the bad guy, when it's really them messing with you. You need to break up with him. Just pack your stuff and ghost him, and then when you're safely away, tell him that you are done and block him. And now to the update. So, unexpected edit, I waited for him to make a comment this morning so I could talk to him. It was less than an hour after waking up that he said, "God, you stink." I had already showered and put on deodorant. I snapped and asked what exactly he was smelling, because at this point, I'm one of the cleanest people on the planet, and if I smell bad to him, then we should just break up. He got all panicked and upset, and I eventually got out of him that this is what his father always said to his mother. Apparently his father told him that this was a surefire technique to have a woman never leave you because she will feel too low to cheat, will only love you, and will always be clean. Needless to say, his father is wrong. He's packing his things and moving out of my house today. Holy crap, that update. His father basically groomed him to be an emotional abuser. So glad you ended that. Hopefully he learns from this. I couldn't believe the edit. What the actual hell? Poor girl. I'm so glad that she left him. But holy crap, what a great edit. She not only called him out perfectly, but she saw past his excuse and moved the fuck on. Imagine him thinking that his attempts to manipulate her to settle for him would end well. OP upgraded for sure by dumping him. Imagine telling a girl she smells to make her want you more. Fuck, people are stupid. And OP says, yeah, I feel really stupid for staying as long as I did. You were not stupid. He was obviously raised by a shitty sexist dude who read Art of the Game one too many times. You aren't in the wrong for trying to make something work with someone you're committed to, and you left his ass despite him spending your whole relationship trying to subtly break you down. You're dope and not stupid. Just make sure your next relationship is with someone better. Your edit shows how utterly pathetic and manipulative he is. How disgusting of him. He drove you insane and caused you emotional distress and didn't even bat an eyelash. Him and his father are pieces of shit. Get rid of him and tell his sorry ass to go get therapy and stop being such an emotionally abusive trash can. Yuck. Go take care of yourself, love, and breathe. And OP says, thank you so much. I'm so sorry this happened to you, and I hope way better things come your way. I wish you the best. I can't healthily bond with my partner, and my insecurity eats at me. Should I work on myself? Nah. Let me tell her she stinks. It's deeper than that, even. He observes his father saying this to his mother for years. This is a learned behavior. He needs to sort out this learned behavior and also deal with his insecurity. This is the same type of person who will shriek incoherently about feminism is the only reason that they can't get a girlfriend. Dude is probably still single and wondering why women keep dumping him. Hopefully his mother dumped the father and Senior and Junior can live together eating beans out of the can and scratching their balls in front of the TV. Can you just imagine his next potential date asking, so why did your last girlfriend break up with you then? I would pay to see this. You know he lies and is like, oh, she was a psycho, she cheated, she didn't bathe, and blah blah. It's never his fault. Yuck. Mind games like that make me feel a bit sick. There isn't any one technique to stop someone leaving you, but if there was, then it sure as hell wouldn't be telling them they smell. I mean, what the hell? Mind games, tests, gaslighting, etc. all need to be left behind and forgotten. They aren't healthy for relationships, and I doubt that any relationship that succeeds despite them is going to be healthy as a result. According to OP, everything else about the relationship was going great. I guess the ex-boyfriend didn't consider that maybe it was the fact that kept OP around the whole time, rather than thinking she smelled bad. Literally, all he needed to do was not listen to some bullcrap his dad said that was blatantly untrue and shitty, and they would have been fine. The silver lining is that he at least ousted himself for being awful with that behavior. Hopefully OP takes some time for herself to build her confidence back up, and then perhaps finds someone who doesn't think it's perfectly fine to mess with her mind for a year.